Hello and welcome to Stateside on Politics Social. I'm joined, as ever, by Mikey Famine from the BIM Network. How you doing, Mikey? You all right, mate? Can you hear me? Can Mikey hear me? Can he hear me? Does he know I'm here? Does he know that we're here? Is my mic on?
Hey guys, remember when I said if you just like act like he has audio issues, it's the best way to get him. He can't not bite. He has to bite because
Yes.
streamers are very OCD about their sound and if they're not going out. So if you just mess with them a
Well,
little
it's just that you get like a million people telling you your mic's on mute, and it fills up all the text. So you don't get to have really nice conversations with Ollie Man, who's in the chat. All right, Ollie. We've also got Diz. Ollie is in the chat from Canada.
Can't hear you, Grant.
Pete is in there. Billy Kershaw. We've got Vendetta. We've got Saz being all Sazzy. We've got Diz being all Dizzy. We've got Paul being all Paulie. And we've got Vendetta being all Vendetta-y. If you'd like to join our beautiful friends in the beautiful chat, hit the beautiful subscribe button. Wait for a minute, and then you'll be allowed to type things, because you're only allowed to type things if you subscribe. So you better subscribe now, or you'll be in trouble. Right, Mikey, we have lots to get through today, and this is what I want to say. I think that this weekend, right, is going to be the high watermark for Trump. I think this from now on, he's gone from being a lame fuck. He's now a lame duck president. I don't think he's going to get anything through. I think he's fucked, because just his big beautiful bill is not going to get through the House. No one turned up for his stupid parade. He's been humiliated on the world stage because Putin ignores him, Netanyahu ignores him, Xi ignores him. He's at the G7 whinging about the fact that Russia isn't there. I mean, just what do you think?
We all knew this already. Like, just because the little mad king thinks that he can just, I own the whole earth now. You're like, well, Mikey, what are you gonna do when he starts doing all this stuff? Okay, yeah, he'll put the whole world to their knees. No, he just fucked up everybody's paychecks for a couple of weeks. So everyone was like, all right, cut him out of the meetings from now on. Cut all, you know what, no more contracts over there, because the adults in the rest of the earth have dealt with tyrants before, and they usually don't come from here, but here we are. The rest of the world does not have to listen to him, and they're not going to. Good. Don't listen to him. We'll get rid of him soon enough. We got some midterms coming up here. Oh, in about 15, 16 months.
That's far too long away. I can't imagine that far away in the future. Can't we have them next month? Can we have them early?
You're not an American. You're not used to this ridiculous 2-year long election process. You know what I mean? Like, that is normal. So we're like, they're coming. You're like, they're a million days away. Because you guys have, what, 6 weeks?
Yeah, 6 weeks. It's announced. Fucking. You don't know when it's going to be announced. We have a train station in the UK called Euston Station. And the way it works is you go to the station and you don't know what platform your train is going to be on. So they have these big boards. They have about 16 platforms, right? And you don't know which is going to be the train platform that you need to go to get on your train, right? If you don't have a reserved seat, you need to get to the train first so you get a seat and you're not standing all the way to Liverpool, right? So basically, just as the train is about to leave, it finally comes up on the screen what platform to go to, and everyone runs. Everyone just legs it to the platform. That's a bit like the elections we have here. It's like we don't know when they're going to happen, and then suddenly the government go, "We're going to have an election," and we're like, "Oh shit, okay, let's have an election." It's 6 weeks, done and dusted. And the next day after the prime minister, well, the new government is elected, the prime minister takes residence in number 10. They chuck the old occupants out and they put a new person in. Like within 24 hours, they're out and the next person's in.
So I'm not defending my system, but I'm thinking that there's a system in the middle that needs to be in place.
Surprise election.
Mine,
our system is
ridiculous. You shouldn't need 2 calendars to figure out like what a political cycle is going to be. And also it shouldn't happen overnight. Like, I shouldn't be like, get like COVID or something, or like a bad flu and be down for a couple days and then the government's changed heads. Yes. That also should not happen.
Yeah, but I mean, the way it is in America, it's like it is 2 years. You're not wrong on there. Like, it is just that's it. All anyone talks about is the election.
And that's why, like, the RNC and the DNC have so much control over the elected leaders inside their individual caucuses and inside their committees, because you have to run for so long, and the opposition ads start almost as soon as you get in for the follow. You know what I mean? For the
Yeah.
following 2 year term, and it's a waste of time, is what it is, and a waste of money
Yeah.
and effort and energy. And
Well,
it doesn't do anything for the people, which is my main contention.
I
Like,
think
we don't need that.
you've just summed up Trump as well. He's a waste of time and money, doesn't do anything for the people. So,
Hey, how dare you say that his birthday parade was a waste of money?
come on, can
He
we
was
talk about
honoring.
this? Oh
No,
my God.
you guys leave him alone.
It was
He was
worse
celebrating.
than I imagined.
No,
I was
let me get
hoping
this.
it would be bad.
I have
and
been
it
saving this joke
exceeded
all
expectations.
morning. I've been saving this joke all morning. You're gonna let me get it off. How dare you guys say it was his birthday party? It was for the Army's birthday, which is
Yes.
older than the country. So how dare you?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a party for the Navy in October.
I just love the fact it was so depressing. It was so a few years ago here in the UK, we were supposed to be leaving the EU. So it was like the end of March 2019, we were supposed to be leaving the EU because that was when the 2 year window for activating Article 50 was up, right? And to
I think I had you
us-
on for that.
maybe to force us to leave, right? Somehow, Nigel Farage and his mates got some sad wankers to walk in the rain all the way from like Sunderland up in the northeast here, all the way to London, and it was called the March to Leave. I set up a website that looked exactly the same as the official March to Leave site, except it had a number 2 instead of the word 2, and my website gave the wrong times and the wrong dates and the wrong places to meet with little maps and things, little Google Maps. It looked exactly like the real one. Anyway, but yeah, it was just seeing.
Why
the
do we
footage.
keep ending up at gay bars? What the hell is going on with this route?
Watching the footage of it was just like it was kind of, you cringed and you kind of almost felt sorry for the sad fuckers who had turned up to this thing, and it was raining and everyone looked so miserable, and I thought that's the pinnacle for me of the Brexit mindset.
That's the same as Trump leaving them assholes out at the Coachella thing, and they had no shuttle back to their shit and they had to walk for hours in the dark in the desert.
Yeah. But
it's just so
the American
irony is so.
And it rained as well. Like, God just didn't like it. It just was overcast. It was miserable. The stands are empty. But that squeaky tank. Have you got that as a sound effect now? You squeaky tank. Have you got a squeaky tank sound effect?
It's too annoying, and that's annoying. Even though I have Marjorie Taylor Greene on the board.
Oh no, you need it for when someone tells a bad joke or when like an anecdote doesn't go anywhere. You need to press the button for that squeaky tank, because that is the sound now of silence.
I really. Oh my God. Speaking of
awkward silence.
the wife just got home, so he has to bark at the same garage door and the same car that he hears every day. Every day. And now I've gone blurry.
Yeah, I know.
It's not exciting. He's like, intruder.
No.
And then he runs over and he's like, pet me. Intruder.
Dogs experience time differently to humans.
Okay.
You're out of focus, man. Will you focus?
I'm thirsty.
It's a
I
serious
like coffee.
show. You got to focus. Oh, there you go. You're focused now.
It's the auto thing. Let me see if I can.
Chris C says apparently Trump is not happy that our Trooping the Colour outdid his military parade both in professionalism and attendance. Yeah, it was nice weather as well in London for the Trooping of the Colour. That's when we have our military on parade, but it's not like tanks down the mall, because that would be fucking weird. It's just like old guns from the Crimean War.
No, it's cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save a lot of money, and we're gonna spend almost $60 million. Not to mention the roads, not to mention that I didn't think about this, but one of the retired generals was commenting on it, and he was like, all of those tanks are freshly painted. So some divisions somewhere have blown their fucking budget, because they're like, all right, man, bring out your tanks. I'm like, oh my fuck, we got to bring the tanks. But paint the tank, fix everything. We have to fix it, because even if you weren't like, I have a car, but that doesn't mean I'm ready to take it to a car show. So they had to get all that shit right. So now you made them waste all this time and effort and energy to get not one, not two, but 3 billion fucking tanks painted and shined and all. For what? To just do a lap? Are you dumb?
The squeaky tank. I mean, it was so quiet you could hear the squeaky tank. But then talking about there was a marching band. They were in formation, right? But the squaddies walking down the street, GI Joes or whatever you call them over there, they were all just like sauntering. They were sauntering, Mikey. Like, why would you go and watch someone saunter down the street out of step? Like, no
you just gotta look, because Trump is not a military guy. He never has been, never will be. He wants them to just be like cool like him. So I know any like leader, like military minded leader would have had them drilling, marching in step, in formation down. They would have made them drill. He wanted them to just go, just be there. And then they're like, okay, you're going to walk from here to here. Like, there's your organization. But those guys in the fucking camo and all that shit, they don't fucking drill no more, homie. They do drugs and they fucking speak 5 languages and they do all kinds of shit. They can do all kinds of things with very few materials. You probably shouldn't cut their health care. And that's they don't march, dog. They don't even like their names out there.
Am I right in because I heard something about the healthcare for veterans? They can now legally deny it based on sexuality, and there's a couple of other things. A few of them are still protected, I think, but like sexuality and marital status, they can now, thanks to a Trump executive order. Like, he's really gone after the veterans, and I can see why. Even if you could march in step, they would.
But you got to think about it. This is the evangelical right saying, I don't want to treat that gay soldier. Like, I should be able, as a Christian, to deny service to this person because I find them disgusting. So I shouldn't have to treat them. Never mind the fact that you're fucking putrid to everybody around you, and we have to tolerate your stupid ass all day. But there's that.
I just think that this is gonna. I hope it haunts him. Then again, we've been here before. That's my only worry. I mean, I didn't think that Trump and his entourage dickheads could stoop any lower than the Four Seasons debacle, but they've outdone themselves here. They spent 90 million on a fucking parade that was absolutely awful. It was
empty.
Dire. We have the Miners' Gala here in Durham, right? This happens every July. And it is this huge
Everyone
event.
shows off their pickaxes.
Yeah. Hi-ho. They all sing hi-ho. It's off to work we go.
Whistling.
Bucket and a stick and a
Lots of whistling.
But there's no miners anymore. There's no miners, Mikey. Like, imagine you had a parade for a trade, or, for the army, but there was no army anymore. And yet, even though there's been no army for 40, 50 years, the march is still fucking exciting and cool and outrageous, and everyone's there, and it's a groovy time to go out.
So Graham, I'm so proud of what you've done with the show. We're going to celebrate you, Graham. So to celebrate what you do, we're going to make you travel to every country you've ever been to and do a live stream from there. That's how we're going to celebrate you. Not by giving you time off, not by making sure that your family's taken care of. We're going to make you fucking get in your fucking here, you. I know you're a computer scientist, but put on this fucking Revolutionary War fucking get up. And I want you to march down the street and walk. I know that you have a degree and there's probably something you should be doing right now. But let's stop all that because it's fucking Trump's birthday and he wants to see his toy soldiers march down the street.
Yeah.
And did you see how many women were in that in the marching around in there?
No, I didn't see that.
Lots of them. Half the band was women. So it's like, okay, keep fucking up. And then guess who's going to be in that parade next year? 2 tanks, motherfucking 3 airplanes. Like, no one's going to be there anymore. Keep kicking people out. You're already having recruitment issues. So you think the manosphere is going to provide you a bunch of strong-backed, chiseled chin GIs? You're a fool. But that's the small demonstration. The small expensive one.
Yeah. Well,
but the one that was free 99 and millions of people all over the country was no King's Day. And it looks like some guy, Vic Stricker, Time Bristole, Bristole. I don't know. Some idiot in the fucking chat. He was at the No King's Day March, and he said he had a great time.
Oh, good. I'm glad that he had a good time. He probably didn't have a sexy time, though, did he? He doesn't sound like the type. Anyway,
please respond. Did your time include sexy time? Answer quickly, or you're banned forever.
Laura says, Whiskey Leaks, Pete Kegsbreath forgot to order them to wear their dress uniform, so they wore their fatigues. Yes! Do you know that is probably it, you know? It was organised by a fucking alcoholic. That makes so much sense.
They had all the different uniforms from over the years. So they needed every single uniform represented. Because that's stupid. Every single uniform.
Oh my god.
Because they're stupid.
No
one wants to wear that shit.
If there's a problem with super chats. Yeah, the problem is that I haven't got any. That's the problem with the super chats. I'm checking now. I could send myself a super chat if I want. Bloody hell,
you won't do it.
You can put up to £500. That's insane. Wow. It's got a little slide.
They should probably put a limit on that.
There is a limit, 500 quid.
I'm saying 500 might be a little high. Made my thumb slid or something.
That's the standard setup for the Googles, for the YouTubes. I've just got a super chat, actually. Thank you, Ian. It says, working fine. You got me. Yes. See, there you go. You say, is the super chat working? And then someone gives you a couple of quid to make sure it's working. Thank you so much, Ian McKenna. Oh, and Tim Ballum has also just dropped in £10 super chat. More people would turn up at Cooper's Hill cheese rolling on a bank holiday weekend.
Yes.
If there was room for them than Trump's Timu North Korean parade.
They should do that at They should do that at the Lincoln Memorial or one of those ones with the big steps or has the big grassy hill behind it.
Yes.
Just roll some cheese down there. It'll be the only soft cheese. The only soft cheese allowed in the country every year will be rolled down Capitol Hill, literally. And that is how you can get it.
Imagine if they were doing that, though, just round the corner. They were just rolling some cheese, and that got more people, literally, to watch the cheese roll down the hill. But it was almost because of that, because so many people turned out to protest Trump. Before we go on, Paul Ewan, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. All good on the super chats? Yes. They definitely were. If anyone else wants to check whether the super chats are working or not, feel free. Tim, I've got a question for you, Tim Ballum. Are you at Glastonbury this year? Let me know. Let me know in the chat.
I have Greg the Powerful, $5 English. American dollars. I always keep saying that.
That's a great name.
TikTok joke I saw. I can't read the whole thing, but you guys can read it in the chat. The tanks were whimpering because they were built for killing Yahtzees, and you guys will have to read the rest because I can't read it on air. But thank you so much, Craig, and that is very funny.
They
couldn't fulfill their
Trump's nightmares. I hope he wakes up in a cold sweat.
He has no idea what's going on anymore. He's clearly like, I'm done pretending that this is a competent person. It can talk and it can walk, but
you were done with that a long time ago, Mikey. To be fair,
I'm not. That's why he's like, I want a parade on my birthday. And then no one showed up because you threw your own party. And no one shows up to parties where the person's hosting their own. But like, it's weird. It's weird. I'm not coming. Maybe I'm the only one that shows up. Now it's just me and you. And that's exactly what happened. Poor Melania couldn't get out of there.
Like, I was going to mention that she was there. His inflatable wife was there for a change. She's not usually hanging around. It's the first time I've seen them together since the inauguration.
Back from Russia.
Oh, was she in Russia?
Oh, there's a cat in here. You're not supposed to be in here.
Did they have the soldier from the village people marching? Is there a soldier in the village people? Yeah, there wasn't there?
There's a cop.
There's a cop. Yeah, there's a cop. Speaking
of cops.
What? Go on. Tell us what's happening.
The LAPD is still the LAPD. And we're chasing people away from nothing.
Yes.
I think there's been a couple of cases of people getting arrested by like soldiers, but largely the soldiers have just been standing around doing nothing.
Yeah.
And guess what? Deployments are a set amount of days. So they got 55 more days to sit in that goddamn parking lot, in that parking garage, and be bored shitless. This is going to get rough.
Well, they've got to protect. They've got to protect the federal buildings, haven't they?
Yeah. Darren in the chat, 20 British pounds. Thank you so much. Super chat's working here too. Correct.
Fantastic.
You are correct. Thank
you
you
want to
so
test
much
that they're working here, mate? Paul Ewan, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Look, I have a drone. Wee, woo, tack, 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 tack. Very good. Talking of tacos, well, almost Paul said tacos there. I don't know where Mikey's gone. I'm just going to go on to just me. He's just hanging around.
Goodbye, Dexter.
so talking of tacos, Trump also chickened out this week from the rule about getting rid of all the illegal immigrants, so the people who don't have their papers in America. And he's pulled back because the leaders of industry and farming have said to him, these are all our workers, and if you take them all away, we're not going to make any money. And he went, okay, then.
I just saw a TikTok of some farmer saying, you gotta do something different. And he's all hopped up and mad because his workforce is going to be gone. And it's, if only there was a party that was like talking about mass amnesty for decades. If only there was like, I don't know, some way of like knowing information. I don't know, maybe the fucking smartphone that you're recording your goddamn TikTok on. Yeah. People have been talking about it. Like it's like teenagers. When teenagers are not annoying because they smell bad. Well, they do smell bad, but they're annoying because they think every basic idea is a brand new idea because they thought of it. Yeah. And now all these right wingers are trying to come up with these solutions. We had the fucking solution. There was a candidate that was going to do something about the problem. Well, why can't we just make them legal and just get them in their court cases? Because Trump is firing all the fucking judges. And ICE is waiting outside of people's appointments to arrest them and deport them to God knows where. Yeah. You are you are rooting for the deliberate destruction of the system whilst complaining that the system is not working to your satisfaction. You have to pick a struggle. Yeah. Do you want things to get better? Then you have to drop the racism. But I want to be racist to make money. You gotta pick. Yeah. You just gotta pick. That's where it is. Yeah. There's not enough white people, unfortunately, for all the white people to just boot out everybody else and still have a society. Sorry. Well, it doesn't work like that.
There's a lot of people who are having their face eaten by the leopards since Trump got in.
Never thought.
There was another case I heard of this week where there was a woman and her elderly father, it might have been a grandfather actually, she voted for Trump. She made videos about how great he was for social media, and her grandfather or her father was an undocumented migrant. He's being deported now, and he has like stage 4 cancer. So that's a death sentence.
Or you got to sneak them back in and do shit not according to what the government says, which people are going to do, which is why they were here undocumented in the first place. Most of the people that came here for asylum, speaking of asylum, I just want to clear up something real quick for any MAGA chuds out there. Hey, how y'all doing? All of y'all are total hogs for Israel right now, and you guys are blow up everything, kill everything to support Israel. Do you know why we have an asylum act? Because America said the Jews are not welcome here. When they were fleeing the Nazis, when they were fleeing persecution, we turned our back, we closed our door, and we said it's not our problem. Yeah. Let us know when it crosses the Atlantic. And we all saw the horror that befell those people. And we said, never again. Yeah. That's why we have asylum laws. That's why anybody who walks onto this land and says, please help me, you at least get a hearing. Yeah. At least. Yeah. You may not get citizenship, but we at least need to see if like there might be something that prevents you from getting citizenship, but we shouldn't just automatically say no. Yeah. That's why we have asylum laws. Yeah. That's why we offer it to people. Because we made a mistake.
But the evil vampire at the heart of Trump's administration, Stephen Miller, his great grandparents came over fleeing the pogroms of what was then Russia, and Belarus.
Same thing with J.B. Pritzker. His family, the governor of Illinois, his family fled from Ukraine.
So he wouldn't exist. He wouldn't be here if America hadn't taken in refugees from Europe who were running away in fear of their lives. And now that motherfucker is turning around and he's like, oh no, we've got to stop anyone else coming from any other country. No, we have to stop them. It's really, really important that we put children in cages and we separate children from their families. And they lied about, oh, we're just going after the criminals. And then they're going around into elementary schools, kicking the fucking doors down to deport.
There might have been a criminal.
Kids.
It was a criminal teacher, some criminal second grade teacher who's, doing shapes and learning the animals with the kids and singing songs, all that kind of stuff. Basic addition. Yeah, that horrible monster.
Yeah.
And they ain't getting paid shit. So because we don't pay teachers enough in this goddamn country.
What's your
Every
take?
teacher could make 6 figures.
What's your take on this call for audits to do with the down ballot voting in the last election? Do you think this is something that they should be looking into? Because it is a bit sus that so many votes that voted for Democrats down the ballot did not vote for Kamala. And we're not talking like a handful here like normally. We're talking about tens of thousands of votes across numerous swing states. They went in to vote.
Ask Elon.
They voted for a Democrat. And in some areas, in some voting districts, nobody voted for Kamala. Like 0 votes for Kamala. In places where Trump only won that entire state by a few thousand, this is highly, highly sus. There's a court case going through at the moment, but that could open the books on everything, I hope.
I say let's investigate for sure. I'm not, I don't want to downplay it like, well, they don't need to look or whatever. Like,
yeah.
But the Democrats also have, like, that should happen, but also they have to have a reckoning that the unaffiliated movement and like people were not fucking joking around when it came to Gaza. Like, stop the bullshit now or I sit it out. And then all of the people were like, no. Well, what about your local people? What about so a lot of people did not vote for president and they voted down ballot.
Yeah.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Michigan and shit like that, like you look, let's pull the ballots from Dearborn. I guarantee you, Harris got 1/10 of the votes that she thought she was going to get. And then the rest of the ballots were just fine because they were said, no, because you cannot support a genocide and expect to get my vote. I'm a Muslim. I'm a Gazan. My family still lives in the West Bank. Like you can't tell those people, hey, fuck you. Give me your vote anyway, or else it's Trump for you.
Yeah.
They said, well, I'll fight fucking Trump like I'm about to fight you. So whatever, let's fight.
We've got Maggie Pie in the chat. Thank you very much for the 20 Swedish krona. Thank you very much. Trump needs to be booted out of office as soon as possible.
Come on, midterms.
I can't see him leaving except in a box. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. Although Amy Coney fucking Island in the Supreme Court, she seems to be becoming more liberal in her old age. This is a bit odd. She keeps siding with the liberal, not on the big things like abortion, but on a lot of the smaller bills that are going, cases that are going through the Supreme Court. She seems to be siding with the liberals rather than the ultra conservatives, like that crazy bastard at the Winnebago.
Again, Clarence Thomas. But the framing again. These are not liberal justices. The justices are just well read in the law, and they're not willing to bend the Constitution to force some right-wing narrative you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you do your job as a judge and right-wingers just disagree with it, now you know what I mean? Like, it becomes this extra political thing. When the law is what the law is. The Constitution says what the Constitution says. Yeah. You asking for exemptions from that is typically a no, because you can't start changing shit unless we want to run it through all the states and run it through unless we want to do all that. If you want to change the law, then you can change the law. But if the law says something, then it says something. But they won't let us just like defund Obamacare. What the fuck is that, liberal judge? It's like they're not fucking liberal. You're trying to do something illegal. That's what it means. When you do something against the law, it's fucking illegal.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got another super chat coming from Tim. Can't make Glastonbury yet again, as kids have very busy rugby stroke social lives. One is off doing DOV hiking camping weekend. The other one is busy with sports. Well, if they're off doing a hiking camping weekend, you don't need to be there because they're off doing things. Come to Glasgow. Come on. Turn you down the road, Tim. Tim lives near Glastonbury, which is taking place week and a half to Glastonbury. It's all very, very exciting.
Gloucester.
Glastonbury. It's all good. And living in a box. I'm living in a cardboard box. Name the tune. It's Living in a Box by Living in a Box, isn't it? Anne Phillips, a lot of anti-Harris and anti-Dem sentiment came out of the election, but I did suspect it would have been worth a recount in the swing states.
I still think Elon cheated for him.
Well, for no one to vote, that is a statistical anomaly. Like, literally no one in a particular voting station, for not a single person to vote for Kamala. That does seem a bit sus.
Yeah, run a tape. I want them to investigate it, but I wouldn't be. But the some of the dip in numbers is because they refused to listen to the people, and they said, "You will bow to me, or you will get the Riddler for the next 4 years." And people are taking their chances.
And people said they love the Riddler, and now
said, "I'll fight him."
To the ground, and it looks like.
Well, I mean, do you think Joe Biden was? You think Joe Biden was stopping that?
He would have stopped it. He would have stopped them raising it to the ground and turning it. He wouldn't.
They literally did that. Well, they're not. They haven't. They haven't. It hasn't been turned into a casino yet because, again, no one is paying for that. The dumb idiot child is just saying shit, and
he's very good at saying shit.
He just talks shit.
That's all. Where's your wall? Where's your wall, Donny? Where's your fucking wall? Go watch angry biracial videos from November. He goes through the whole vote rigging. That's from Vendetta. Duke says, are we still doing this argument that Harris would have been as bad as Trump? I'm not, Duke, because I don't think she would have been. I don't think she would have allowed Putin to get away with this shit. I don't think she would have allowed Netanyahu.
I think talking about Gaza. Well, she had her chance to say what she needed to say, and she refused to say it. So people can only go on that before they vote, before they pull the lever, or fill in the bubble, or whatever it is. They can only go by that. I think, speculating highly, she probably would have done maybe not a 180, but like a 140. You know, she would have diverted, I think, but she is an AIPAC Democrat just like the rest of them. She's going to let them do whatever they want.
But was Gaza that big an issue for the majority of voters in that election?
People have there's been horrible genocides all over in recent history. TikTok put it in their timeline. They have never seen shit like that before, ever. Yeah. We're politics nerds. We know about this kind of stuff, and we're kind of desensitized to it. They had never seen some shit like that in their entire life. And the IDF was on TikTok fucking bragging about it. And then Kamala Harris is up there saying, I'm never going to not support the IDF. And it's like, what do you want them to do? This is their first introduction to the conflict. It's in its most grotesque form. People are bragging about the brutality. And the Democratic candidate is clapping and going along. What do you want them to do? You know?
I mean, if it's anything like this country, I mean, we have had people going out and marching against what Israel's doing, quite rightly. But it wasn't like that big an issue in the election that it would have cost Labour the election, because they were doing the same sort of thing as, you know, what Kamala Harris was doing. They were saying, we condemn this stuff. Are you going to do anything about it? No, not really. But we condemn it.
But look at the support that the UK gives, and then look at the massive amount of support that the US gives. So now that the people know that it is us that's funding these bombs, They want a stop to it now. And if you aren't saying that you're putting a stop to it now, then it doesn't anything you say after that is gone. Like it doesn't matter. Like if you're not stopping it when you have the power to stop it, then they don't trust. And it breaks their heart. And this is the result. And it breaks their heart even more. So that is another huge reason. And I can't believe CNN can't figure this out. This is why the Democrats' numbers haven't gone up. Even though Trump is still shit and getting shittier by the day, the Dems' numbers are still down because they feel like they have sacrificed the Gazans.
Well, I don't. Okay, I mean, I'd like to drill into the polls on this and how people are voting based on Gaza, because I know that's a huge thing for us. But as you said, we're politics wonks, and it just, I mean, obviously I don't have the figures in front of me, but the in the UK there were these big protests, but they've kind of simmered down now. We don't seem to be having them as much as we were in the early days of the invasion of Gaza. What's it like in the States? Are you still getting regular big protests against what's happening in Gaza?
Yes. Yep. Still going on. Still going on.
The Trump administration's come down like a ton of bricks on people who've written even an op-ed, haven't they?
I was about to say, and you saw how the colleges sprung into action. I mean, like, well, and they're walking out of graduations and they're putting in all their speeches. It is very prevalent in the minds of the young people. And they are watching the adults, the people in office right now, they're watching their response to this, and it disgusts them. Disgusts them. And then the older Democrats, I would say, or the older people on the left, they're just as fucking pissed off because they're not fighting against any of Trump's shit. They're just Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffrey down the road.
I agree with that.
So
I can see why people
the
are
young and the old.
Yeah,
the young and the old are both feeling like they're not being represented.
Yeah, I don't know if Gaza is that big a deal to most just bog standard Americans who don't really take an interest in politics. And I mean, could they point where Gaza was on a fucking map? Like the shit America's pulled in the past in foreign policy and has just got away with it.
They didn't see it. They didn't see it.
Yeah, they did. They saw Vietnam. They still got away with it.
The fucking teenagers saw Vietnam. What are you talking about? I'm talking about these people are watching things happen on a day-by-day basis on their phones without outside of mainstream media and all that. They are seeing it in their TikTok feed. That has never happened before. Yeah. Where the war front went directly into households, directly into palms. That's never happened before. And the response from the administration was horrendous. Horrendous. And that breeds distrust in the government at large.
Tim, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. About 75 miles away, Graham. Oh, right. I thought you lived closer than that. And I'm the responsible adult. I hate being the responsible adult. As my wife is working, my son has been selected by Gloss. I don't know what Gloss is. Are they a cover band who do Ross covers? And Paul says, anyone see the arrogant piece of work coming off the plane draped in the Israeli flag? People were booing and she was reveling in it. She soon wanted out of Israel when the missiles started flying. I don't know who you're referring to. Was it Wonder Woman? If my German Shepherd Cara was still with me, I would offer her cat behavior management services. She took no shit from other cats. There's random stuff in the chat. I love it when it comes in. He literally got voted in twice. It's not just a few people, says Ian. Well, yeah. I mean, also in 2020, he almost got voted in. I mean, he didn't win, but he almost got win. He almost won. It wasn't like he suffered some landslide defeat and it was just really evident on the fucking day. In Georgia, it came down to just 11,870 votes, which isn't much in a state that has millions of people in it. Agreed, cats are crazy, but to cats, we might just seem as crazy. Yeah, we seem absolutely fucking mad to cats. They just lay around having a nice time and eating when they want and playing with, mice, and they go and see their mates and they have a little sing with their mates on the fence at night, and then they come in. Sounds great to me. We're running around being, angry and building stuff. Isn't that a joke in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy about the dolphins being smarter because they just splashed about in the water having a good time?
I don't know. Trying to
Mm,
find that article for you. I might have to send it to you later. I don't want to pull
okay.
from. Oh, this it?
Okay. Well, I mean, there was a Pew article, Pew Research Center, that showed that, immediately after the October 2023 attack on Israel by Hamas, there was a lot of sympathy with Israel, and that has just evaporated because of Netanyahu's fucking stupidity. But I really doubt that, like, Netanyahu would have gone this far knowing that America would come down on them like a ton of bricks. Same with Putin. I don't think they would have done the stuff they've done knowing that America would actually do something about it. They know Trump won't do anything about it because he's weak. And he's easily won over. He's easily flattered. He's easily,
He doesn't care.
Yeah, he's just there to feather
He
his
can't
nest.
if you can't make money off of it, he doesn't care.
No, not at all. Not even a very little bit. So yeah, the Tangerine Tyrant, with his pathetic trickle of troops. But yeah, the other thing that's going through at the moment, or going nowhere, is his big bastard bill. So this is interesting. So one of the things in the big bastard bill, right, along with having no oversight on AI for 10 years, is that no one can bring no judge can stop an executive order from the president without the people who are trying to stop it paying all the court costs up front.
Yep.
So this is the most short, and this is why I think that Trump's only going to leave in a box, right? Because if they thought for a moment that the Democrats would ever be in power again, they wouldn't vote for that. Because what the Democrats can do is an executive order, taking everyone's fucking gun off them, and there'll be nothing anyone could do about it. Because you'd need to have so much money to mount a court case against the government to try and stop that from happening.
You have to go get them.
Yeah. Sfax is saying, Mikey, young people barely vote. Under 30 was just 16%, while more than half the voters were over 45. That's true. Obama was a damned coward as well, Graham. I don't know. I don't know if he was a coward. I think he was trying to be a diplomat in quite difficult circumstances because he was given a shit sandwich by the outgoing Republican administration that had bankrupted the country, had brought in the credit crunch, had fucked everyone else in the world as well, brought in two unpopular and unwinnable wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, which Obama was lumbered with. So, and also that was when that Mitch McConnell creep said, we're going to block everything that the Democrats want to do. So nothing got done. 8 years, nothing got done.
Winnable war is questionable.
I said unwinnable wars.
Oh, that was like, it was like saddled with a winnable war. I was like,
oh, no.
We thought Afghanistan was unpopular,
unpopular and unwinnable.
Mike must have just like skipped for a second. I was like, there's no way he just fucking said that. I was like, nah, I'm slapping him for that.
They were
one.
popular and winnable. They weren't. No, they weren't. They weren't. Everyone thought it was a bad idea. I hope they have a prison cell ready for Trump at ADX Florence. I don't.
He's going to Alcatraz.
I can't see him go to jail. I have a question. So at the weekend,
and then I have a topic after your question.
Lawmakers in Minnesota were attacked. One of them died, along with their husband, and the other was in the hospital. This as a Republican lawmaker has made fun of this. By the way, I don't know if you've seen on Twitter. Put a saying that he made a joke about it, saying this is what happens when you allow Marxists to do what they want.
I know, I got notes.
Or something like that. But here's a question. So they caught the guy today, or those wee small hours yesterday. Will that be a federal offense? And if so, will Trump just
no
forgive him?
See, I knew you were going to ask that. I knew you were going to ask that. I should have wrote it down on the paper and just held it up to the camera.
Well, you didn't, so you can't prove
it. Or
I
should have put it in an envelope. Like, I'm going to open this on camera, and I would have showed you. I knew you were going to ask that. No, he is going to jail.
I was asking the question.
But it is such a thing over the UK now to think that everything just automatically goes to federal because Trump is in there. But when Biden was in there, nobody asked this question. Most
Yeah, because
things are
Biden
not
wasn't
federal.
wasn't like pardoning 1,500 Capitol rioters.
Right. But most things are under the state's jurisdiction. Like you have committed, like if you're drunk driving,
Yeah.
yeah, you were drunk driving in America, but you were drunk driving in the state of Illinois. You have endangered the citizens of Illinois. And as the citizens, we have asked our legislators to make a law saying that if you drive intoxicated, you will get this crime. No one can get you out of that because you have violated my rights as an Illinois citizen.
Yep.
So fuck you, federal government. This ain't got shit to do with you. He pissed us off. He killed Minnesotans. He owes the people of Minnesota a debt, and he will pay it.
Right. So
He ain't getting out of this shit.
Trump cannot pardon him. Okay.
Nope.
I wanted to ask the question because I honestly didn't know whether that was a case of it was a lawmaker and therefore it would be a federal crime rather than a state crime.
Super, super rare for stuff to get amped up like that for that exact reason. Like people want, like if I'm the prosecutor from Illinois or Minnesota,
Yeah.
I don't want nothing going to. I don't want any accelerated federal charges. I want him stuck on 2 attempted murders, 2 murders here in the state. He ain't getting away from, you know what I mean? Like I don't want him to get away.
Luigi's been done on federal charges, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, he has. I'm going to tell you now. He has been done on.
Then why'd you ask
charges.
a question?
Because I was just trying to say, yeah, that happened. So he assassinated a CEO in New York. And I'm just interested if anyone knows in the chat, like, why did he have federal charges brought against him and why the guy who shot these Minnesota lawmakers can't have it? Federal charges brought against him. And is it to do with crossing state lines? I genuinely don't know. I'm asking this question. I'm not being a twat about it. Tim, thank you very much for the £10 super chat. Trump, the rapist, will expire, fall out of a window before he's convicted of any further crimes. Mikey, if he charges with terrorism, he'll be pardoned.
Still got murder charges. You know what I mean? So he can pardon the terrorism charges if he wants to. He's still going to jail for life for murder 2 times.
Chris C is saying
attempted murder.
He's been charged with both state and federal offences, including second-degree murder.
Okay. Which one, Luigi or this other guy?
This other guy.
Okay. So this is not the first time that a Trump administration has seen gunfire and bloodshed under his watch, and the first time was in Las Vegas when that country concert got shot up. The guy was up in a hotel room overlooking the stage and had just hundreds and hundreds of rounds and guns on tripods using a bump stock. And a bump stock is you pull the trigger once, the gun recoils, the shake of that recoil continues to fire the gun. So one squeeze, multiple bullets. Those are illegal because those are machine guns. It should be one squeeze, one bullet. That's the law. And if you do have something that's like semi-automatic or like a burst fire or something like that, you have to have licenses for all that stuff. The bump stocks can be added to any gun and turn them automatic. Trump banned them in a remarkable event, and then everybody, and even we had to say, well, I guess fucking sun shines on a dog ass. I mean, like, I don't know. It's like, this is a good thing. Like, he banned them. Well, isn't it interesting that someone just unbanned suppressors and the switches to make guns completely automatic? Why is that important? Because when you are spraying bullets like that, and I don't know, it's suppressed fire, you carry out assassinations and shit like that. So he needs to go back like he did before and ban the fucking switches and ban fucking suppressors now that this has happened. And the only reason I bring that up is because I think this is the time period where he gets influence because he doesn't like it when Americans die on American soil. And the fact that these people are lawmakers makes it even worse because it makes it look like, you know what I'm saying? Like he can't pretend to be this super peaceful guy when his guys are running around murdering people that they disagree with. Um,
Yeah.
because like, because if my neighbors are shooting in their house, I know
Yeah.
about it. I can hear that, and then I can call the cops like, "Yo, they shooting over here." Now it's oppressors.
Mm.
So I think this is a perfect play for the Dems. You need to pressure the right, tell them that they need to reactively start bumping the stuff, or they don't care about protecting people. And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm waiting to see what Kash Patel has to say because this is his department.
Yes.
Domestic terrorism is his department. He been running around with the Epstein and smoking cigars. You should have been at work, dude. You
Well,
missed one.
this is why it's concerning. If he's done for terrorism, the guy in charge of taking him to task for that is a nutter, and the person in charge of the DOJ is a nutter.
Oh, they're hardworking, and we're gonna demand that they work. Don't you agree, Graham, that he should put a lot more effort into finding these Trump murderers in the future rather than smoking cigars with Joe Rogan,
No,
Mr. Kashmir Patel?
he's gonna just smoke cigars because he's a cunt.
No, you finna he's been showing up at 6 a.m. every morning. Well, you about to start going up in there at 5:45 because clearly you need to do more work because you're missing shit.
Yeah.
It's a hard job, isn't it? It's hard to fucking look out for all the fucking crazy people in this country. It's almost like, I don't know, we should have red flag laws, which the Trump administration was 100% against. Maybe when people get radicalized by, I don't know, Alex Jones and other right-wing conspiracy theory podcasts, maybe there should be like a hotline so you could like say, hey, my buddy has been saying some really weird shit. So I don't think he's gonna do anything, but those numbers are gone. All those resources are gone and being allocated towards, I don't know, building Elon a new city and making sure he has security for it. I don't know what they could be spending money on. Just randomly saying things here, but it's a lot harder to be FBI director than it would have appeared on the surface.
Yeah.
And this is his. This is you're the FBI director. You're in charge. You paid a bill. You paid a bill, Cash.
Yeah.
Accountability, Cash.
Tim asks, is it hard work or hard working? Hard work, I think. Tim, thank you very much for that. Yeah, talking to Musk, he's disappeared, hasn't he? He's fucked off to God knows where.
He's over there trying to eat solid food again.
Yeah. So with the this bootlicking bill that's going through the House at the moment, Trump wants to get it passed apparently before July the 4th.
Nope.
So he can sign it on July the 4th.
Nope.
This is an insane bill. It is over 1,000 pages of fucking nonsense. And the daft twats who have voted for it, because it's already passed the House, but it'll probably go back to the House at some point. It was passed the House. It's in the Senate at the moment. And you've got these knobheads going, oh, I didn't know that was in there. Oh, I didn't read that bit. Oh, yeah, it's been pointed out to them. But there's going to be snap cuts. There's going to be Medicaid. It's getting gutted. There's going to be salt. It's going to be capped. And energy credit, there's going to be a rollback on that. So electric vehicles are not going to get a subsidy anymore, which is going to that's going to wreck Tesla. Because Tesla's business model at the moment is just take money off the taxpayers. Same business model of most of Musk's enterprises. Like, do the Republicans, do you feel like, because they must be thinking, right, I've got to keep Trump sweet, or he'll get one of his super PACs against me in the primaries. I'll get primaries, right? So I'll be out of a job. But then if they do go along with Trump's big bastard bill, then the voters are going to vote them out. So, unless they've got some
should
way,
listen to the people voting. I don't know.
They should listen to the people
Probably,
rather than to Trump.
Probably should be worried about the people who will actually make sure you don't get elected versus the person who threatens to make sure you don't get elected. Hey, taco is taco. He can threaten you all he wants. You think he's still got Elon's coin purse?
Yeah.
No. You think he's gonna spend any of his own money?
Yeah.
He's not gonna do shit. They're they've seen the mechanics, and the gears and the levers behind the big Oz machine.
Yeah.
They better just do the right thing, or they're gone, dude. They're gonna get voted out.
So
They will. People are gonna run the soccer coach, and take your spot. Like anyone can win.
So I think this is going to be his ultimate taco. I think Taco Tuesday is just going to be every day in July, because we've already got the city, the climb downs about sending the troops in. We've got him climb down over doing anything about Russia, climbing down over doing anything about Netanyahu and Israel. And don't forget, there was a deal that was in progress, and they were going to have a big announcement on yesterday, and that got completely derailed by Netanyahu, and Trump's just there going, "Oh well, never mind." So he's tacoed on all this stuff, and what happens on, I think, the 9th of July, is it? That's when the 90-day pause in tariff finishes, and Trump reckons he's going to have 100 new trade agreements by then with countries.
Tell me another one.
And if not, there's going to be hell to pay. He's going to put more tariffs on everyone. Now, we've got another. Tim is being very generous this evening. Thank you very much. Thunderfoot, Trump versus Musk, when billion-dollar egos collide. Yeah, I like Thunderfoot. Well worth a watch. So he with the tariffs, I mean, he's got no room for maneuver now, has he? Because all of the people in Wall Street, all of the billionaires who tell him what to do, they've all said, "Stop fucking doing this, you mad bastard." So what do you think his climb down's going to be? He got what he wanted. He was right all along, but now he's got to stop them. I mean,
who can truly say how far the bottom is, But this is it's going to fall flat. And things are going to stagnate. Trade's going to slow down over here, and the rest of the world's just going to keep on ticking, but it'll tick a little bit differently. Everybody likes to use us for stuff and likes to sell us stuff, but they can figure out alternatives, and they have been. And now that they've had all this time to plan this is what actual businessmen are good at, is adjusting to changing climates and making money regardless. So the rest of the world is going to continue to make money, and everyone who has a business here is going to suffer, unless you're Trump's like best friend. Then you'll probably get some like undercut deal or whatever, and that's going to be like these farmers, like their properties and stuff like that are worth a lot of money. Like, so they may not make boatloads of money, but they're business owners. Like they deal in trade. Yeah. You can't even get farmers on your side, dog. And these are like 10 employees. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense to them.
Yeah.
How the hell are you going to explain this to Walmart and Amazon and like explain how you're going to get back to school off the ground? You're going to give a stipend for everybody, a $1,500 stipend because kids' shirts and pants and all that stuff went up 85%. So now they only get like 2 or 3. Well, they'll have just less stuff. You think people are going to just keep going with less for what benefit? And that's the problem with the tariffs, is he keeps claiming that this is going to the deficit. Why do you care about the deficit if all you do is spend? You just wasted $60 million on a friggin' parade, and you're talking about saving money. He's like, it's an investment in how cool we look. Now everybody respects. It's like, tell me another one. You can't. This is kitchen table shit at this point. It's like, no, we can't keep going to the video arcade. We need to go to the grocery store. He's like, but what if we spend more money at the video arcade?
Yeah.
They have snacks there. That's still not fulfilling the needs of the country. We need food and healthcare and safety and housing. Like, if he really wanted to like swoon everybody over, he would flip 100% and just start building houses, as many as he can, name them Trump houses, give them away for free, and just then fuck off to Russia. Like, that's the only thing he can do on this day and age, on this date, to save his presidency.
Yeah.
Because if he just continues on this way, it's like so fucked. Like it's so like 20 years of unfucking is the fucking he's doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Like it's gonna take a long time to
yeah.
fix this shit. Unless Republicans grow some fucking spines. He doesn't have Elon anymore and he's not spending his own money. You might as well go for it. You might as well just try for the first time in your life listening to your constituents when they tell you your ass is gone if you vote for this.
Do you think?
So,
Do you think that? Do you think that the midterms are going to go ahead next year? Are you pretty confident about that?
yeah.
Because that was always my worry, that he would just find some reason to stop them going ahead.
I mean, you see how well he's done in LA by sending the Marines to sit in a parking lot for fucking like you can't do that over the whole country.
Yeah.
You can't stop us from having like unless you're gonna physically stop all of us. Okay, good luck with that. There is a lot of us.
Yeah, yeah. It's just that the whole thing is just like it's as ridiculous as it is. Sort of, I don't know. I'm just kind of like at the point now where I'm like, well, you know what? It can't get any worse. This is the point where Trump's people, his inner circle are being shown that they're fucking useless and they're not going to get anywhere. And I mean, like I said at the top of the show, I think Trump's done his dash. I think this parade was the end of it. To be honest with you, I can't see him coming back or moving forward from this. I can't see what he can do because he's got his big beautiful bill, big bastard bill. If that doesn't go through, if he doesn't sign that, I mean, if he does, it's going to be fucking shit. But if he doesn't sign that, like, that's it. I can't see. He's done all his executive orders. There's 1,000 court cases against him at the moment, against the people, his administration. All the people that he's picked are fucking useless. All of his cabinet are just fucking dickheads who don't know what they're doing.
And also by July, they're all going to be out of money.
Yeah. But here's my question. Why isn't Trump more unpopular with the people who voted for him?
Because
why
the real world
feel betrayed.
Because most of the real world effects they've been sort of insulated from. Okay. Like with all this tariff shit and all this, like him putting that pause on it, the people were about a week away from the staggering prices, and then he chickened out on it. Like they almost smelled it. Like everyone who's in the finance world and all the people in the business world, they were staring at the clock, waiting to see what was going to happen. But the everyday normie people who love their reality TV and a good movie on Turner Classic, like those people who just work and do their normal life shit and don't care about any or don't know about any of this stuff. Maybe they care. They're completely unaware of what happened. They have no idea how close the Titanic was to that iceberg. You know what I mean? Like they are blissfully making out with some girl in a Model T. They have no idea.
Yeah. So
it's getting very close for them to find out whether they want to or not. But
so I've got some of the best signs from the weekend from the anti-Trump protest. Now, if I show you this, it's going to mess up your feed, isn't it, on your channel? So this is just going to be for people on my channel, I guess. But I'll read them out.
Just do it.
So first of all, we've got the We the People. We've got the Constitution. This massive Constitution that was in California. I think they walked along with the massive Constitution. The Lying King with with the silhouette of Trump.
That's good.
You sucked in Home Alone 2. I accidentally got added to this protest by a Signal group chat like that. This president is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met. Do not trust him. He's a fugly slut.
That's a good sign.
The only orange man I support, and there's a picture of the Cheeto cheetah. Clean up
Just
on aisle. Clean up on aisle 47. We've got I prefer my ice crushed. We've got if Melania doesn't have to live with him, why do we? I quite like that one. Alexa, change the president. I like that. I want your social security with a picture of Musk dressed as Uncle Sam. Our expectations for you were low, but holy fuck. Hey, MAGA, go fact yourself. No dictators. No potatoes shaped like dicks. Girl, hold my earrings. It's a picture of the Statue of Liberty there. The only king I recognize, and it's a lemur or something. I don't know. Someone's going to have to explain that one to me. American Joker thing. God forbid a girl wants liberty and justice for all. Timo Turd. Trump exhibits multiple psychosis. Trump underpants reek discernibly. It does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty. Super callous, fragile, racist, sexist, Nazi POTUS. I think I've seen that one before. There is only one king in this country, and his name is LeBron. Stop trying to make king happen. It ain't going to happen. Stop making me agree with Gavin. I was going to talk about Gavin Newsom. I think we should before the show's over. And if Taylor got her masters back, we can take our country back. It's referring to Tay-Tay. No kings, only Gritty. Who's Gritty, Mikey? Who's Gritty? Is that a mascot or something? No kings, only Gritty. Don't get that one. No fucking way. We've got, I'd like that taco to go, please. Oh, that's true. Nobody is eating the dogs, which is written on a handkerchief around the dog's neck. I drink my horchata warm because fuck. Okay. Maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it up, which is someone's drawn the Constitution there. A birthday celebration fit for a sad little baby. And Trump is a baby clapping his hands at a little tank. And finally, if there's money for a parade, there's money for Medicaid. So there you go. Some of the signs from the weekend shenanigans. There you go. The lemur is King Julian from the film Madagascar. There you go. I didn't get me Madagascar reference.
Lemur. Lemur. There's an R in that word. I was like, lima bean? Lima?
Did I say lima? Because I'm a limey.
Yeah.
That's why. Can't say it right. Pete, I did it, Pete. Exactly what Obama said he would. I'm surprised he hasn't gone the whole Trump sign on the White House. Could see him do that. My favorite sign, you treat us like Russia, we fight like Ukraine. That's cool. I like that. And Ian says he literally isn't a king, though. Well, exactly. That's why it was the No Kings protest. People don't want someone who's above the law, like a supreme, divine right, absolute dictator.
I'm jumping in.
Go on.
I'm jumping in because I can't see any of your signs, and my brain is making me bored of what you're saying.
We finished the signs.
I haven't seen a single fucking sign. I'm over here trying to paint them all in my head, and I'm exhausted. About the fucking murderer, who I will never say his name, and I will always just call him a fucking murderer. Apparently he stalked these people. He had a manifesto in his fake cop car. He wore a tactical vest, and one of those like realistic like latex mask things over the thing. This was on the body cam footage, or not body cam footage, the Ring doorbell footage.
Yeah.
Where he's got the squad car out in the driveway, rings the doorbell. They open the door because they see a cop. He flashes the flashlights in their eyes. There's a shooting over here. Are you guys armed? And they say no. And then he proceeds to attack them. Now, we have a lot of laws in this country, and we have a lot of laws protecting people for defending themselves.
Yeah. I
am not a lawyer. I am not a lawyer in your state. You should get cameras in your house. You should get cameras to watch your doorstep. And I was going to confirm this, and if someone in the chat can, if someone's at your door and they claim to be police, I'm fairly certain you can call the police to make sure that someone has been dispatched to your house.
Yeah, but they
The
could
best way to
pretend to
do
be
that,
ICE, couldn't they? This is the big problem with ICE. They're covering their faces. They're not saying who they are. They're not identifying themselves. They've got
I
no
don't
body
have
cam.
the law says I don't have to open the door for you. I don't have to. If you want to kick in the door, then there's no point in you ringing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna bust in, then I guess you're just busting in, and then but they can't just do that because that opens them up to they lose a lot of their protections when they bust into somebody's house unannounced.
Yeah.
So if you are protecting your home from someone, a home invader, and he's got a mask on, he's like, well, why would you shoot at a federal agent? How the hell am I supposed to know? So that is why they ring the doorbell and they wait outside because you don't want to just run up in there and the dude's got a fucking flamethrower. Like it could be a very bad day for you.
Yeah.
But if you have a Ring doorbell, make sure it's good. Make sure the batteries are in, lenses are obscured. I know that they sell sometimes like little, if you own your home, little guys that you can put over the top of like your security cameras so they can't be tampered with. Looks like we're at that point.
Cool.
If you thought it was maybe, yeah, I probably don't need it. This is pretty calm over here. This is just for like my friend sent me. She ate shit trying to fucking walk in the house with stuff, and she like caught her foot on the curb and just like face planted.
Yeah.
And her neighbor's Ring doorbell got it, and she said it was. So yeah, those things are funny, but we might need to be keeping track of motherfuckers, just following motherfuckers around, doing like this is where we're at, and let's see what Kash Patel's fucking response to this is. Let's see how many resources they're going to put into these cyber teams. Because I guarantee you this dude's in like 15 different online groups. Yeah. Guarantee you. So they know who these people are. Just like they knew about every single person before they went to the Capitol on January 6th. Yeah. They had online profiles for each and every one of them.
Yeah.
And also that they were all live streaming themselves with their own cell phones that they bought from a store with their credit card, which has a billing address that goes directly to their house. Like, never mind the fact that they did that because they're dumb.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention before we sign off today, Gavin Newsom. Like this has been fantastic for his.
And Mike Lee needs to resign.
Who?
Mike Lee needs to resign. The dickhead senator from Utah who is posting like this is what happens when Marxists don't get their way.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that, didn't I?
Yeah. Mike Lee needs to resign, and if he doesn't, Utah is cooked.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
They're all Mormons,
but that's where all the
think that sort of stuff's funny because
That's where those weirdo dudes. Oh, Tim Ballum, 10 pound British pounds super chat. Air horns. All hail King Julian. Fair enough. Give him I love Tesla for that.
So yeah, but do you think
that
Gavin Newsom this is solidified his run for president for 2028?
Maybe. I think he'll definitely run, but I don't think he may not come out of the primary. You know what I mean? Like even as swaggy as he might be as this like super suave Californian, I still think Walz is going to run. I don't think Bernie's going to go. I don't think AOC is going to run. I think she's going to run for Senate, but there might be a lot of like he might run, but I don't know if he'll get out of the primary and be the candidate.
Right.
A lot of people might be running, so we'll see.
Yeah.
And even if maybe the Democrats aren't the way to go because the Democratic Party is still in splinters as we speak.
Well, yeah,
they have no leadership.
Well,
currently.
AOC, Gavin Newsom, and Bernie have actually got a bit of a slick marketing campaign behind them. You know, social media campaigning. They're very good at it. All the other Democrats, mate, they're fucking up. Well, I mean, there's some who are good when they ask the questions in the House, in the select committees. I quite like that. But as much as having like a proper slick operation, that it doesn't exist. But I've noticed Zoran Mamdani, who is running for the New York mayor against Andrew Cuomo. And there was just this fucking clip that went a bit viral over the weekend of he was accused of not having enough experience, and he just listed off all the corrupt, crazy, fucked up shit that Andrew Cuomo has done. And it was one of those moments, when you're watching a debate, going fucking drop the mic, it's over.
But you got to remember, that's in the left.
Yeah.
That's no right wingers. That's just the Democrats. And you can see the spread of political ideologies even on that stage where Cuomo is a fucking Republican. He's a corporate Democrat. They're Republicans. They're Republicans of old. They refuse to do anything for anybody. They just want to line their pockets and maintain the status quo. That's the centrist. Let's do nothing and just wait for somebody else inspirational to come around and fix everything for us. That's their plan.
After seeing that, I just followed him on TikTok, and I've seen loads of his videos, and he's fucking brilliant. Like, really, he's the man. Doing these flowing videos where he's getting onto a train and the subway, he's getting off, comes out through the, and he's talking to the camera and everything. But like, I want to read this out to everyone watching because this is so. This is Andrew Cuomo, right? So they're having this debate in the lead up to the mayoral election in a few weeks' time. He's never built anything, said Cuomo. He's never dealt with a natural emergency. He's never dealt with a hurricane, with a flood, etc. He's never done any of the essentials. And now you have Donald Trump on top of that. So Mamdani obviously knew that someone was going to pick up on the fact because he's quite young.
Trump would treat him like a dessert.
He's only like 35 or something. So he's quite a young guy. He fired back to Mr. Cuomo. I have never had to resign in disgrace. I have never cut Medicaid. I have never stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA. That's the underground
transit, Metropolitan Transit Authority.
Yeah. I have never hounded the 13 women who credibly accused me of sexual harassment. I have never sued for their gynecological records. And I have never done any of those things because I am not you, Mr. Cuomo.
And the name is Mamdani. Get it right.
Yeah. Learn how to say it.
Yeah.
Fuck. Hey, I was just like,
the only thing he could have done better there is like, the name is Mamdani. Remember it because I'm going to be your next mayor. It would have been crazy.
In the polling, he's quite a long way away, but it's narrowing. Like when it first started, he was like 50 points away from it. But
he was 1% at first.
He's getting closer every day. But it was good. Anyway,
and that'll be good. And that'll be good for New York because New York has a lot of people in it. It's kind of understated, but having shitty mayors in these large cities has not only like region-wide, countrywide, it has worldwide implications. Yep. Like it is, we don't want any of our big cities on the planet to be in distress and to be fucked up because that shit bleeds out. If your neighbor, if their house is on fire, your house is not more safe from fire. It is less safe from fire. So you want your neighbors to be good.
Yeah. True. Okay, so just to round off, like I think that this is the beginning of the end of the Trump presidency as we know it. Like I can't see him coming back from this. I might be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong, but I really do think that like this is the point where no one, not the people on his team, not the people who voted for him, not the world leaders who's meeting, anyone has any respect for him whatsoever, and it's going to drive him up the fucking wall, and that'll be the death of him. I swear it. He'll be so stressed out because he's little Cartman, isn't he, going, "You will respect my authority," in his little cop uniform. That's Trump to a T.
Wait till he has to deal with Iran.
Yeah. Well, he's not, is he? He doesn't know what to do. He's so out of his depth. It's painful. He's like a toddler in the deep end of a swimming pool. He doesn't know what to do. He's just splashing around, hoping someone will rescue him.
There's tons of toddlers that know how to swim. He's just a moron who has never studied for a quiz. And now it's SAT time, baby. And he has no idea. And he's like talking to the quiz. He's trying to like offer the quiz money and like threatening to like expose nude pictures of the quiz on the internet. None of that is working, apparently. Apparently, all he had to do was study.
Yeah.
So that's the lesson for today, everyone. Study.
It
pays off.
Stay in school. Pay attention. Right.
Pay attention in class.
Thank you so much, Mikey, for joining us this evening on Stateside, where we covered all the stuff going on in America. Someone asked if I could show the squeaky tank. I I'll let you do it. Honestly, there's so many videos out there. Just go on YouTube or go on TikTok and look at Trump's sad parade. There are so many videos out there, and it's fucking hilarious. If you are feeling a little bit down, if all the state of the world is getting on top of you a little bit, just have a look at Trump's sad parade. You know, like in Glasgow, you know, the Willy Wonka experience in Glasgow? Yeah? Same vibes. Exactly the same vibes. Oh my God. He wanted to have a party and nobody came. And it was just, it was beautiful. And everyone looked so bored, so miserable. And he fell asleep. He fucking fell asleep.
He's old.
At his
He's
own
old and it's boring.
birthday party parade. And it was sponsored. Something I didn't even mention. Straight out of Idiocracy, where he says, "Hi, I'm the Secretary of State, sponsored by Carl's Jr." And he's like, "Why'd you keep saying Carl's Jr.?" He goes, "Because they give me $50 every time I say it."
Well, this one was brought to you. This one brought to you by Coinbase. If you want to, totally fund the army with crypto money, which could be literally from Al Qaeda. I mean, okay. I mean, there's a reason why we want traceable funds. For most things. So that, and also to make sure you're not compromised, you just start getting money from a random person you might be like influenced to do what they tell you to do. But crypto's totally traceable.
Fuck you, I will do what you tell me. Just give me loads of money. Right, anyway, Mikey, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks to everyone who watched. Thank you for the super chat. It's really kind of you. I'll be back 9 o'clock tomorrow morning with Morning Brew. And until then, I'll say, give us a like on the way out. And until next time, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.